Hello, man. It's gonna take a while to get used to just pressing record and it actually starts and not having to wait for Streamlabs. But welcome back, everybody, to the Slice of Shonen podcast, episode 45, I believe. It is getting so hard to keep track of shit now. Yeah, we're about to hit that big 50, bro, very soon. And then after that, we're on our journey to 100, which is fucking mind-boggling to say the least. Thank you so much for listening. We appreciate it, especially with everything that's going on. I know we say it a lot recently, but tech issues getting in the way, all that good stuff. We're trying to get this podcast out to you however we can, so we appreciate you for joining us here on the journey. And speaking of joining us, I have co-hosts that are joining me, small crew, similar to last week, but a crew nonetheless. It is me. Hey, how's it going? It's Silver. It's Taco. And of course, the Zenith Annie manga, who just put out a wonderful video. I haven't got the chance to watch it yet, but it's from Zenith, so I know it's going to be good.
Yeah. Hey.
You'll have the chance to watch it. You should go watch it right now. Go watch it right now. You can actually pause the podcast now and go listen to it. You won't miss anything. Go watch it right now. What were you saying, Taco? Were you saying something, or are you just saying it was the
Sukuna video?
Yeah.
JJK video.
Yeah, I was gonna watch it, and then I was at work all day.
That's rough. That's rough, bro.
Yeah, I got home at like 1 something in the morning, and then I hopped on Discord to talk with the boys for a little bit. But whatever, that's a preamble. We don't need to talk about any of that shit. Did I use that correctly? I don't care. Anyway, we have a lot of stuff to talk about this week, even though it's not a full podcast. We have One Piece chapter 1067. I can read. MHA chapter 373. Chainsaw Man 111 and Hunter x Hunter 395. All of the wonderful timestamps are right there on the timeline for you. You can skip ahead, click on whichever one you want to. We got this whole thing set up, bro. We got this all made out for you. So hopefully you appreciate it. But with that all being said, I am ready to talk about some things with everybody. How about you? You guys ready to jump in, or you got something you want to say to the people?
Just for watching, I guess.
Yeah,
for true, and that's for true. All right, we're jumping right in. One New Piece, chapter 1067. Fellas, how we feeling about it?
It was a good chapter.
Yeah.
It was a good chapter. It's just mostly set up. Nothing too major really happens this chapter.
For sure, yeah. I like.
It's really about like what happens next.
Yeah. I like the little gag where Vegapunk was like, "Oh yeah, I have clones," and Luffy's like, "Oh shit, you're a ninja too. That's sweet."
I thought the funniest part about this was revealing just what was defective about that man-made devil fruit.
For sure,
right?
Yeah.
Because like this whole time I was wondering that, like what exactly is it about this fruit that's defective? Like, I mean, at first I thought it was just because like the abilities were weaker, but we learned later on that's just because of Momo himself and not having the confidence with it, and obvious drama. But no, it's just because literally because the dragon in transformation is pink instead of blue, like Ikaido's. Like the guy, like the fact that he's just a fucking perfectionist is just. And I don't know why that cracked me up.
I'm glad we got that.
Yeah,
I'm glad that Oda brought that back, because there's just like a little mystery that's been around for so long.
Oh yeah, because I was wondering that myself. I was like, why? What do you mean? Oh, it's pink. I mean, in my opinion, cooler color, but whatever.
I thought that was one bit I thought was funny was when Bonnie was like, "What happened to your head?" And he's like, "Oh, I let it grow really long, so I cut it." And she's like, "It's not like getting a haircut."
Yeah. And then Luffy followed that up. He's just like, "So does that mean you're just dumb?"
So
Yeah, you got in your brain. Does that mean you're stupid?
Yeah, you just stupid now. I understand, bro. It's like
so when this is a reveal, we got that Vegapunk has actually eaten the brain fruit.
Yes, I was just about to bring that up.
So basically, from what we understand, the way it works is just it doesn't make him smarter. He can just store more data in his brain. He can just
pretty much
hold more.
And then it grows to a
essentially
so technically we had. And essentially we had the right idea like last time we did this, because like we were talking about like how like his brain grows the more he learns. So we were actually right about that, which is kind of surprising. But I mean, at the very least, I feel a little better knowing his mother didn't have to suffer.
He basically has an encyclopedic knowledge of everything he's ever seen or learned. He has access to every piece of info, which is pretty cool. So when he says, when he bites his tongue, he's like, to tell you the truth, I've got the brain fruit, so I'm a brain man. I thought this was pretty funny. So shout out to Arter on Twitter, the Library of Ohara. He tweeted, the full I ate the brain fruit, which makes me a brain human line. In Japanese, it's a tongue twister. It is, in Japanese, nomi 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 no no min ningen.
I can't wait for that to be animated then.
That's what... That's I ate the brain fruit, which makes me a brain human.
That's
which
gonna
I
be a
thought
good
was
one.
really funny.
That's wow.
No me, no me, no me.
Nomi 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 no no min ningen.
Yeah, no way. No way.
But
So then wait.
besides, wait, what? So what?
Well, no.
You
like,
wanna try
like,
it?
okay, so we. No. It's not that. It's like because I was thinking like, so we know the mystery behind why his head was so big, but what about his tongue? Like,
He's
what
just
He's
so
got that
weird.
licky
Fuck,
licky.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Just a weird
He got
guy.
that licky licky. Man's played Pokemon
Yeah.
once and said, all right, I like this. Just fucking put that on him. I respect it, to be honest. I respect it.
What?
The Lickitung, bro. You don't read the
The
manga?
Lickitung.
No,
Dang.
no, I don't.
Dang, bro. We
So
run
we're
a
all
podcast
accusing
and
you
you
for
don't know
not
that.
knowing all 1,000 Pokemon. It's okay. I
That's
forgive
really
you.
fucked up. This is right after Pokemon's release, too. It was really fucked
Yeah, I
up,
know.
to be honest with you. I mean, speaking of fucked up, that game. But anyway, I think this chapter is pretty good. I had something I was going to bring up also about Vegapunk, but I forget. I will say, though, brought it up last week. God damn, man. Just I'm begging you. Put your tongue away, man. Please. Please. I'm
Bro, it
begging
can't
you.
fit in his mouth. Where is he gonna put it?
Fucking cut that shit off with science, man. I don't know. Like, I was talking to one of my other friends. He stopped by my job and we were talking about it. I was like, man, I don't think it would be as bad if the tongue just wasn't always out, but it is. I mean, it's a little better now. He's got the cut head, which is cool. Speaking of the cut head, I really like how everything, like all of the Vegapunk share their knowledge with their antennas and things like that, especially his point with him saying that like all of them share different experiences and knowledge, and all of that like culminates into this one part. I really like that, you know. I mean, we saw it a few chapters ago with the different Vegapunks doing different things, but it's, I don't know, I really like stories where, I don't know, maybe is this the GOH effect? Ever since that arc where they were saying that nothing is useless, I really like that. Maybe it's the GOH effect, but shouts out Got a High School, by the way. Great ending. But yeah, I just really like that part. That might be my favorite part of the chapter, just that little bit there. Very sweet, very wholesome.
My favorite part of the chapter is that Vegapunk basically talks about creating the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's also very true.
I think that's
I don't
interesting
know,
because
that
that's
part-
something I didn't think like Oda would. I guess I should have known better, but it's something I didn't think Oda would like talk about or like.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That part did kind of make me a bit concerned because like maybe it was just like the way I was interpreting it, but the way it was like, hey, I was reading it as like everyone would have their brains hooked up directly to this thing as well. So then it was just going to be like you know, like this whole hive mind thing.
I mean, what's the difference?
Have you been on the internet?
No, he doesn't. He doesn't have Twitter.
Oh
Yeah.
shit, you're right.
You're right. You're outside of the Matrix, Silver. Good for you.
I also think it's interesting because Jinbei, that's the first thing he brings up where he's like, you know, if people start bringing their ideologies and their biases, wouldn't that be a problem? And it's like a bit of social commentary for all the kids out there, for all the little babies reading this.
You know they ass ain't reading.
All them little babies. And then Vegapunk's just like, yeah, bro, fuck it. You know.
Yeah. Who cares?
The reason
Science.
why I find this interesting is, so this has been a very recent thing. This has only been within the last 30 chapters. I've thought about this since the chapter, like I think it was like 2 chapters ago, is when I started thinking about this. But I haven't brought it up yet because I was waiting for a bit more, and we got it in this chapter, so I decided to bring it up. But
Yeah.
recently, very recently, there's also a scene in Film Red that connects to this, but I'm not gonna spoil Film Red because just in case, you know.
Go watch the movie. It's so good.
But very recently, Oda's been focusing on. So at the end of Wano, a big thing at the end of Wano when Luffy and Kaido have their final clash, Kaido asks Luffy, he's like, "What type of world would you create?" And Luffy says, "I want to create a world where no one has to go hungry, or like all my friends can always have enough to eat." Then in this arc, we learn about, they ask like Vegapunk, they're like, "How do you, power all of this technology?" And he's like, "We use fire, but I'm constantly researching, different types of resources to act as fuel." And he talks about creating like basically an artificial sun that can power things forever, basically an unlimited free energy source. And now he's talking about creating the internet. So it's like Oda's slowly introducing concepts and ideas that will create the utopia that Luffy creates by the end of the series when he takes down the world government. Like, Luffy's going to create a world where people can eat whatever they want. There's going to be free unlimited energy, and there's going to be access. There's going to be free knowledge that anyone can access. So no one has to live in ignorance anymore.
I was wondering. I was like, where are you going with this? But no, that makes sense. That makes a lot
Basically,
of sense. Yeah.
Oda's setting it up where it's like, Sky had a funny comment where he's like, it's funny because it's like, Oda's like, yeah, well, what kind of world would I create? Just a better one. Like, just a world where people, don't have it so shitty.
Very simple.
But
it's
like,
just an easier world for everybody.
Obviously,
I'd simply make a new one.
This is One Piece, so it's like, it's not going to be as simple as that. But it's also like, I think this is interesting because it's like I said, this isn't like thousands of chapters. This is the last like 30 chapters that this has all been introduced.
Yeah.
And we are in the final saga, so it's like Oda's very clearly setting up for the final war, or whatever you want to call it.
For sure. And I think that's a really interesting way of putting it, because like that is like that's a very Luffy answer. Just like, what do you want? I'll just make the world a better place. How? By doing it. So it's literally just like, well, we need energy. Well, let's just make an unlimited energy source. Like, that's such a him answer. Yeah.
People have already theorized that Luffy will somehow contribute to that, because Vegapunk, the word he uses specifically is fire, and Luffy's the sun god, and he talks about creating an artificial sun. So it's like Luffy will probably have some role in creating that unlimited energy source. But it's like,
and Vegapunk, he also has like those little stations where you could press a button and eat literally anything.
Yeah.
So there's also that too. It's like, damn, okay. All right. I can see what y'all putting down a little bit. All right. I like that. I like that out of y'all, for real. What's up, Silver? You gonna say something?
No, nothing. I'm just thinking.
True. I like the little moment with Luffy holding the stag beetle. I was like, oh, reminds me of Kid Luffy.
Yeah.
Reminds me of Kid Luffy. Yeah, very sweet. I like that. Also, Luffy instigating the conflict between the two, where he's like, Vegapunk's like, oh man, I feel so bad. And Luffy's like, yeah, you should feel like shit. You're a piece of shit. Fucking shut up. Hey, he's gaslighting people. He just like me, for real. Anyway, this big armor thing. This big
before we get in,
I
do want to say something. So like, we've been talking for a long time about like, devil fruits, where all that shit might come from, what its origin is. Me and Taco have had a lot of conversations on that. It's not like a big deal, but he said, Vegapunk says, I spent 20 years and an exorbitant research budget working from Kaido's bloodline elements, which is basically confirmation that devil fruits work off DNA, which like is something that we've been saying for a while.
Yeah, me and Zenith have had that theory. I'm not joking, for literally a year or two now. It's been a long time.
Oh,
it's been a long time. To be fair, there's other people have said so too.
Yeah.
But this is the first time we're getting just full-blown confirmation.
Like, it's just straight up implied,
somehow devil fruits manipulate or are connected to the user's DNA somehow.
Yeah, which
Gotcha.
that's just been something people have been saying for a while. Me and Tyler have talked about it a lot. It's nice to have it confirmed.
Oh,
Yeah,
hell
that's really
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. The big old suit of armor. So I was gonna ask, unless I don't know, was this the thing that I guess Vegapunk 1 wanted to show the rest of the crew? Was this it?
I
Or is
guess
it
so.
Something else?
Yeah, I
Okay,
guess.
I just wanted to make sure because I was like, I think this is it, but I
Yeah,
don't
I'm not gonna
know.
lie. I was
It's
a
the
little
thing he showed them,
underwhelmed
so I
when
would
it was
imagine.
like, I need to show you something. It's the thing we've seen. Oh,
Yeah, it's
So
the
I
thing
think
you've seen, yeah.
actually this chapter, because I think the whole thing was like, yeah, we were expecting a lot of like exposition and lore dumps with Vegapunk being introduced, and we've gotten that. I think a good
yeah, no,
amount
we
so
haven't
far.
gotten a
It's been
lot.
really good, but I think a lot of people are expecting more. But now, based on this chapter, I actually don't think we're going to get it as soon as we were thinking,
No way, yeah.
because
Yeah, no, definitely not. Because now we got like Rob Lucci and the rest of CP0 coming out, so we got to obviously address that first before we get any more. 'Cause,
well,
you know,
even more
like, I
so
mean-
than that, Vegapunk's most likely going to stick around for a while.
Yeah, because he wants to go with the crew.
He wants to go with Luffy. So
Yeah.
Vegapunk's going to be basically the new Kinemon and Momo. New Law. He's going to be like the new
Wait,
side
wait.
character
Okay,
that tags
no.
around.
I was gonna ask. I was like, wait, are we taking
No, not
all
like
of
that.
the
I
Vega?
mean, like-
No. I was gonna say, are we taking all of the Vegapunks? And then I was like, oh no,
No.
they're
Oh,
probably gonna
I
stick
don't
on the
think
island
so.
and run it.
No, because
Yeah.
some of them, the really
I think we'll
interesting
just take the
thing
original.
about
Yeah.
the Vegapunks is they all have different like allegiances. Like different personalities means that they'll take different sides in this whole thing. Some of these
sure.
Right.
are just fucking evil.
Lilith
Yeah,
straight up
yeah.
said, she's like, let's just give them the straw hats. Let's just like fuck them.
Fuck it,
Yeah.
yeah.
Although I am curious about how this is gonna work, because this could be a bit more problematic than we thought originally as well. Because originally, it is one thing to be able to get Vegapunk and the others out, but what the hell are you gonna do about his brain? Because he said it himself, they have that huge dome is housing his brain. So technically speaking, CP0 doesn't even need you to go after the main body itself, so they just take out the mainframe, as it were. Or how the hell are you gonna get that off the island? I think
it
it literally is
kinda
the island.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think that's what CP0 is gonna go after for this arc instead of tracking everybody down. In terms of how
Well, they need
Vegapunk
to
is
beat
gonna-
CP0. Oh no, the challenge that
Well,
we
I
Yeah.
think I don't think they'll go after the brain because their orders specifically was they need to kill all the Vegapunks, but they have to leave his lab intact.
Mm.
yeah.
So the world government wants to keep his research, and they're destroying his brain. That's where all of his research is. They have no
That's
access to it. That's a problem. But I don't know if the world government really even understands what they're saying. I
Yeah.
think the world government's thinking oh well, let's just take his research, but I don't think they really understand how it works.
Yeah, we'll figure something out. These niggas will not
Yeah.
figure anything out. It'll be like fucking as soon as they get into the brain, if they can get into it, it's like they just walked into Unlimited Void from Gojo. They just see everything. They're like, what the fuck? No way, bro. So definitely, that's a very good point.
There's though you said CP0. I think I definitely think Rob Lucci and Kaku have gotten stronger since the pre-time skip. They're definitely tougher than they used to be, but it's still they're not beating Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji or Jinbei.
No way.
Yeah, Lucci could probably fuck up, I don't know, Nami and Usopp pretty good, but it's
Yeah.
as long as Sanji's with one group and Luffy's with one group, and then Zoro's on the boat, so it's there's enough strong straw hats spread out that they can, I think, cover pretty much every base.
Yeah. Plus, you also have Nico Robin, who if Oda
Robin,
wants her to,
and
is a
even
walking
Frankie
cheat
could probably
code.
hold his own if he had to.
Yeah, no, I was just
I mean-
saying with Robin, she can just sprout hands on your neck and snap your shit if Oda wanted her to do that. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, they definitely did dial that back once we got out of Alabasta. Or
Yeah.
we got out of the time skip.
I mean, you have to. I mean, you just walk up on anybody, just die. That's it.
But really, Unless anyone else has anything, though, only the last thing to talk about is the end of the chapter with Kuma.
Right.
Yeah,
Like,
for
so
sure.
what do you think he's responding to here? Like, do you think it could be a signal coming from Vegapunk? Or like where the hell would he be going?
I think it's one of two
I'm
things.
thinking
I
it's
saw people on
Vega.
Twitter talk about this. I think it's either because Shaka says like prepare to fight, right? So Kuma's most likely connected to Vegapunk's brain somehow. Like, so he can like he's getting information and data from Egghead, so he knows that they're in danger. So he might have like a order or like a subliminal message to like protect Vegapunk, something like that. But another one I really liked that I saw was because Vegapunk, the original Vegapunk, met Bonnie. Now that he knows that Bonnie's on the island, that information is in Punk records, and because Kuma has access to that, he knows where Bonnie is. So now he's going to going to Egghead to see Bonnie.
No, that'd be really sweet, actually.
It could be either or, I guess.
That'd be
But
really
either way,
sweet.
he's going to Egghead. Now the question is how he's gonna get there. Like, is he just gonna paw fruit himself there? Because he could do that, but that takes days.
Bro.
Like, he could do that, but it would take a
little
long time
did
to
you
get
know,
there.
bro, he has an awakened one. He's
Oh,
gonna teleport
you're
right
right.
over. Instant transmission.
And also, I wonder what Dragon and Evencroft are gonna like. I don't see Dragon showing up to Egghead right now.
Dude, if
Yeah, no, I
Dragon
don't see
showed
that
up to
either.
Egghead, CP0, go home, bro. Go home, bro. like our crew is already strong enough. Plus, we have some of the Vegapunks on our side. Some, not all. On top of that, Ivankov, Dragon, and Kuma, bro, go home. Go home, bro. No way. God damn.
Although speaking of Ivankov, the only thing I would really have left to say on this chapter is just like this final line. And like this is where our revolution really begins. Like they haven't been doing that already. Like what does he mean by that?
Well,
honestly,
honestly,
accomplished.
yeah, honestly, they just officially declared war on the Celestial Dragons not too long ago.
Yeah, that was what Sabo's whole plan was. That's why they pretty much went to the Reverie, was to officially declare war. Because so far, what they've been doing is they've been causing revolutions and stuff within world government affiliated countries. They've been building up, weapons and like resources. They've just been preparing for the war. Now they're about to just straight up fight the world government. They're going to go to war with the Marines and everyone.
Yeah, for sure.
Which there's always the chance Kuma, like, Dragon stops Kuma and he doesn't go. Which it's like, why? I don't know why Oda would show this then, if that's the case, but I guess we'll see.
It could be, because we're going to be on break. It could just be like the cliffhanger thing, and then...
Yeah, that's just a cliffhanger, just a big
I don't know.
cliffhanger.
That's very MHA, though. That's very Act 3 MHA, though, so I don't know if he's...
I feel like if Oda was going to do that, the cliffhanger would just be the CP0. Because that's enough of a cliffhanger. Like, oh no, they're here, like they're going to fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I understand.
But, other than that, I don't have anything. Because the only other thing I think is kind of interesting is, like, I'm kind of curious what Vegapunk wants, like where he wants to go. Like with Luffy, or does he even have a destination in mind? But I have nothing to go off of.
I feel like if the idea is escape, I feel like the only place they could go to is, well, the place we've been talking about for so long now, Elbaf. Like, I mean, at this point, that just seems to be the buildup of where we need to go.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think for sure Elbaf is next, so it's probably that. He'll probably give us directions there or something. Sorry, go ahead.
I definitely think it's going to be Elbaf. I think it's possible that Vegapunk, we know he's been to Elbaf before, so he should have the directions memorized in his mind, because that's just how the brain fruit works. Because normally you need a log pose or an eternal pose. He could probably just tell them where to go. He can pretty much act as the direction giver. So, or he might just have an eternal pose. Who knows? But I guess we'll see. I doubt it, because Elbaf's so secretive. They're such a closed off country. But I think that's about it.
Bro, is that he actually has a Vivre card with Crocus.
Whoa! Actually, that's
one of them is in the books.
A Vivre card definitely would be possible as well.
Actually, yeah, he could just have a Vivre card to like Saul or something.
I mean, look, either way, I feel like the most obvious choice here is going to be Elbaf.
Yeah, I definitely think Elbaf is like the next arc we're gonna do.
For sure.
And I think Egghead's pretty. I mean, I thought Egghead was going to be a short arc, but I genuinely don't. I think we only got a few more chapters. I think Egghead's going to be done.
If you had to
'Cause,
give
like-
an estimate, what would you give?
Maximum of 5 chapters.
I
Mm,
don't know. I feel like I would give it
long.
longer than that because I feel like I could see them dragging this out a little bit more. Or like I'm gonna say 10 and maybe 12 just to be safe.
I'm gonna go somewhere in the middle. I'm gonna go with. I think I'm gonna go with 8. I think I'm gonna roll with 8.
Okay.
Zenith.
I don't know.
The reason why I think it's so short is because I don't think they're really gonna fight CP0. Like, we're not gonna get full fights. I think they're just gonna be they're just gonna leave. I think the shots are just gonna take
That'd be
like,
so funny. Actually, they just CP0 arrives and no one's there that matters.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll see. But
Sorry
yeah,
about
I
that.
don't think we have a whole lot left. Well, we only have 3 chapters left of One Piece this year.
Oh fuck, you're right. Wow. Damn.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that.
Forgot about that.
I wonder if
Yeah.
there's gonna
Well,
be
that
like
just
a
goes
New
through
Year's
most of the
special.
magazine because at the end of the year there's a 2-week break for Christmas and New Year's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if we'll get like a New Year's special.
I don't know.
For
We
what?
might. For like One Piece. I get like. Are you talking like a special chapter, like a big chapter?
I mean, maybe, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Ring off the new year.
It really
We've
depends.
never gotten
Honestly,
one before, so I don't think so.
it really depends because it could just be it could be like the climax between Law and Blackbeard, or it could just be us sailing or something. Like it really depends. It's however Oda feels like it at that point.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll see, but it's possible he'll end off the year on like a big cliffhanger for the 2-week break. But I mean, we got Jump Festa to look forward to. We're supposed to be getting a lot of info.
Ooh, yeah.
Jump Festa this year should be good.
Do we know when that is?
But it's like Christmas time. It's the end of
Okay.
the year. I don't know
Okay,
what the exact date, but it basically one of the reasons why the magazine takes a full 2-week break for Christmas and New Year's is like for Christmas and New Year's, but also they have Jump Festa at that time. So a lot of the authors and people, editors and shit are like busy fucking with Jump Festa stuff.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, we'll look forward to that then. But with that all being said, fellas, do you want to move on?
Yep.
Yeah, turn down.
Yep.
Damn it. Okay, don't mind me. Next chapter is My Hero Academia, chapter 373. Fellas, how we feeling about it?
Again, this was a really good chapter.
I've been thinking about this chapter since reading it, and I think there's still some stuff that needs to happen, but I think it does fix some of the issues with this plot line, with like heteromorph plot line, right? Because a big thing about it, and you were, you gave a whole speech about it last time, Sailor, and
Yeah.
I agree with you that it's like the whole thing with Shoji is it's great on an individual level, but it's not really, like, obviously his attitude doesn't really work on a societal level.
Yeah.
And I think with this chapter, it portrays it very differently because it's basically saying that you don't have to be like him, but he's more meant to like represent something. And I think that's I think it's important to remember that like MHA is based on like the idea of the superhero, and that's a lot of what superheroes are. It's not about always being like them. They represent grander ideals, I guess, which I think that's an interesting way to handle it that kind of works. I'm not going to say it completely solves that because there is still the issue of him not having a solution, and I want to see how that's addressed later if it is, but I think it does help.
Yeah, I definitely think this was the best chapter out of the 4 we've gotten for this subplot, but god damn am I happy it's over. But
I don't blame you.
Yeah, because it was very sorry, hopefully you can't hear my dogs barking downstairs. But it was, I did like the part where it was changed in the officials, but in the unofficial, the woman was saying like, I got excited when there was a call to action because inaction is the problem. Like it's a problem. And I was like, yeah, like this, I'm getting what I want here. You know, I'm hearing from someone who's rational and not just like, yeah, kill people. So that was cool. But it was very weird for it to be like, yeah, like I was very excited for us to do something because, you know, inaction is kind of a problem. And the solution to at least this plot line is, all right, guys, time for more inaction. Okay. It just with how everything was like framed, where it's just like, well, you know, let's just be good people, and then one day they'll be ashamed to be mean to us.
Yeah, that was a weird line. Yeah. I did find that part odd, and it's like I said, I hope it's something little more than that.
Yeah, for sure. And I absolutely agree with you, Zenith. I hope this is explored more because this definitely, like I said, was the best out of the bunch. I just, there's still, it was like you said, there's still some stuff
even
that's
by
very
that standard, it was
weird
still
about
weird.
it. Yeah, I also didn't like because, well, I should say I don't like for now because, again, things can change. I knew, we talked about it last week, where All For One and even Spinner to an extent were sort of using this movement for their own gain. It was very weird for it to be like, oh man, they're not doing anything anymore. Damn, after we did so much to rile them up and just make them want to destroy shit. It's like, okay, there's something about that truly bugs me. It's I don't know how to explain it, because Spinner was saying that like the reason why you're here isn't wrong and your feelings aren't invalid, which is a very good line. I like that. But it's just so weird. It's almost dragging the societal issue back to All For One and his goons, which I think is weird. It's not entirely, obviously, but like,
are you talking about the guy that's like, you know, the other guy that's leading
yeah,
the thing?
yeah.
I can kind of, I don't think that's directly bringing it back to All For One. I was more seeing it as like he's the more extreme opposite end, where it's like, it's not about equality, it's about putting yourself in power. He's like, you know, he's like the opposite end, trying to use a social movement for his own benefit. That's how I saw it, at least. I wasn't seeing
That's
it as a
fair.
All For One.
Yeah,
But I can definitely see where you're from.
Yeah, that's a fair way to look at it too. It was very weird to me. Like, let me look back on this. Let me pull up the chapter. That stupid octopus has become a real thorn in our side, which I did like this little line too. Just because, like, just self-hate within a race, which I feel that's very real for me. Just right when we managed to radicalize their passion into a mighty meat shield. That was the part I was like, okay. But the next line, that sort of leans into what you were saying, Zenith. That passion and fervor was meant to bring about our supremacy. I was about to say superiority. So yeah, I think both sides. Yeah, that does make sense. It was just something that kind of bugged me about it, because I was like, is this implying that like fucking All For One is out here starting racial conflicts? It's just like, all right, dude.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past the guy.
him.
Like, I mean, the guy did all sorts of other fucked up shit. So honestly,
For
at
sure.
this point,
For sure. I don't know. I think the part about it that I guess bugged me wasn't even the fact that he manipulated it back to him. It was the fact that like this is coming like, yes, this discrimination problem is because of All For One. And I think that's the part that like just the possibility of that bugged me. But again, it really depends on how this is all wrapped up, because if this is just like, okay, now we're all good again. Like the one hero is just like, wow, I never noticed how much you were suffering. My bad, G. It's like,
Yeah,
all right.
a little awkward.
Yeah, I was like,
and
All right,
It's a
That
dude.
line has the same like.
It doesn't fix the problem, but
That,
it's a
that
start,
line
at
has the
least.
same energy as someone being like, "Yeah, man, I have hetero more friends." Like, I get it, bro. Like,
Yeah, I was just like, I mean, I get
But yeah,
you're in
no,
the
my best
city
friends
where
are
racism.
heteromorphs.
Yeah, I get you're in the city where racism isn't as bad as the countryside, but like, I wouldn't include that. Like, sure,
I
man.
think so this plot line, like I definitely think we'll get something later, like an actual resolution to it, definitely. But
Yeah.
for now, it's done.
Yeah,
Or appears to be
literally,
finished, 'cause it's
even
like,
if we cut
conflict's
to the
pretty much done.
end,
They're not fighting anymore.
if we cut
I
to the
do-
end and it's just straight up, sorry, Zena.
Yeah.
It's literally all it is
go
just
on.
showing Shoji just like, and we're still working on trying to sort out rights for heteromorphs. Perfect. I just don't want it to be a situation where it's just like, and we all lived happily ever after, and racism died that day.
Oh, we cured racism, bro. We fixed it. It's fucking done. Like,
Literally, all you have to do is just show me, hey, things still aren't fixed, but we are making real strides to fix things. Perfect.
mhm.
Just don't, because fuck, man, that whole Shoji speech stopping the protesters, just fucking stop. Like, that whole thing was just
Yeah.
not very good at all.
Well,
It
that is
would be
one
better
thing
if
I'm
his speech was
glad-
better, I feel like. Go ahead, Zena. I'm sorry. I've been
Yeah,
interrupting
I do.
you a
I am
lot.
glad this chapter kind of made that a little better because I was really like, okay, don't really see that happening, but a big speech, but cool. At least this one was like, yeah, I couldn't really go and murder those hospital people. That really,
Very fair, yeah. But
that kind of
it's also-
fucking tipped me off.
it's also weird too because they were there for Shirakumo, but if I remember correctly, wait a minute.
So the deal.
I
is
just
that
realized
they-
something.
What?
Go ahead, Zenith. I've interrupted you a lot today. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Keep
It's
going.
fine. No, we just all got a lot to say. The whole thing with Shirakumo is just like they're getting him because he basically wins them the war if he gets free,
Mhm.
and that in turn benefits their cause.
For sure. So, all right. Because I was going to go into a whole thing about like Spinner because he saw the people at the hospital and then immediately ran the opposite way of them. So it's not like they would have been killing people. But at the same point, I could understand if someone was like, oh, well, if that leads back to, the villains getting the win, that means more innocent people dying, blah, 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 all that good stuff. Whatever. Cool. You want to lead that back to it, that's fine. I just thought it was funny because in like one of the opening chapters for this, Shoji was saying how could you put the people at the hospital in danger? You're just gonna endanger their lives like that? What's wrong with you? Just last week we learned the heroes knew this attack was going to happen. Why would they not evacuate anybody? Like, I understand if you want to say that like, oh, it's a hospital, we can't do that even though we've done it once. Sure, okay. But like, why can't we move Shirakumo? Because like,
Yeah, they should have moved him.
even if like the crowd still shows up to the hospital and they're like, where's Shirakumo? And they're saying like, no, he's not here, he's moved somewhere else. They're like, shut up, we don't believe you. It at least makes the heroes look, at least more competent and more sympathetic. But like, having Shoji be like, I will never forgive you if you put their lives in danger, as the heroes actively put their lives in danger. It's like, okay. I just thought that was very funny. There's a lot of just hypocrisy in these 4 chapters. I think that's what really, another thing that really bugs me about it. But I won't go into it. We had a whole thing last week. If you want to see it, go look at last week's podcast. I just thought that bit was funny. Unless you guys want to keep talking about this part of the chapter, I'm ready to talk about the stuff that I actually really liked about it. Because I thought the second half of this chapter was very good. Yeah. The second half of this chapter was great. I love that. Oh.
Yeah, Spinner is just one of the best characters in this series. I love him.
Yeah, goddamn. Nana's hand is going through it in this series, huh? This woman will never, she will never fucking rest. Goddamn. Getting burnt, stomped on, all this shit. Sheesh. I was not expecting Shirakumo to, I guess, adios, and now we're back to Kurogiri. I mean, I guess I should have, because the way things are going right now with Deku and Shigaraki, Deku is beating the fucking piss out of this dude. So like, we gotta turn his quirks back on, especially because Shigaraki mentions like, man, I'm not even using my quirk. How are you gonna act like you better than me? Damn it. So it's gonna be really interesting to see how that fight changes now. Oh man. Oh, and I just realized, because Monoma, he can't like teleport him back in either. Yeah, they're fucked.
Yeah, he doesn't have access to it.
They are cooked. Damn, they are cooked. Oh, I will ask though. Do you think the first thing they do when they get out, they kill Aizawa just to get rid of that? Get rid of the possibility
they gotta
they can
do
use
something.
it again? I just thought about that. Like, man, I think it might just be too, because the anime has been going on and it showed Aizawa about to die by Shigaraki, and then Deku came in and saved him. So this may be a case where Aizawa might for real get cooked, which is damn.
I think the first thing that has to happen is he has to get All for One over there. Like, that's the big threat, is them both being in the same place.
I've always felt so weird about Shirakumo because I've never read Vigilante, so like I don't really know anything about him.
Yeah, I am the exact same
So
way.
it's like, because like there's like a very big like emotional bend between Shirakumo, Present Mic, and Aizawa, and it's like, okay, I get that they used to be friends and all these things, but it's like I don't know what their relationship was. I don't even know who this guy was. Like
respectfully,
I
I
don't
don't
know
care all that much. Yeah, like I'll see Aizawa crying about it. I'm like, all right, man, I'm sorry for you.
Those chapters are the best chapters of Vigilantes. I will say that. I really like the backstory he has in there.
I read Vigilantes for like 10 chapters, but I dropped it.
I read it.
It's
like
so
the first
fucking
volume.
boring when it gets to the idol shit. Like, it's just not interesting.
Yeah, I read like the first 7 chapters, however many were in volume 1. That's all I read, and then I just never read it again.
But yeah, it looks like this is Shirakumo. That's like there. At least partially. Like, it's not all Kurogiri,
Dude,
but he's just, it
speaking
looks
of
like he's
that-
deciding to protect Shigaraki regardless.
Yeah, speaking of that though, this color page is fire.
Oh, the color page is
damn.
really good.
This is hot. God damn, this is slick. I'm surprised this isn't like a volume cover. This is really good.
Yeah, it's really good.
But yeah, I shouts out to Spinner. Shouts out to my boy.
So Spinner's pretty much done, right? Like he's
Yeah, he's definitely that man's cooked for sure. But man, he went out like a G.
Yeah.
I mean, he won.
like-
He accomplished what he set out to do, and now, like Zena said, the war's pretty much gonna switch now that Shirakumo, because it is Shirakumo, it's not Kurogiri. Now that he's,
Is it?
I mean, look at the face.
yeah, it's Shirakumo. That's
He's
what's
got the
interesting
little
about it.
nose
Is that
tape
Yeah,
it's,
we
over
can
it's
see his face,
Shirakumo.
but I don't think that.
Well,
I don't think
there's
that immediately
another
would mean that it's
thing
gonna be Shirakumo.
where people
I mean-
have been talking about in the translation is the way he addresses himself is the way Shirakumo does instead of Kurogiri. So
Type
it's like,
shit.
it's, you know, yeah.
A Watashi versus Ore situation or something?
Yeah, that
Okay.
exactly.
Yeah,
It
it's,
literally
we don't know,
those two exactly.
Oh, okay.
we don't know the exact, situation behind it, but it appears as if it's just Shirakumo and he's deciding to protect Shigaraki.
Which I like a lot. Because he spent more time with Shigaraki.
Shirakumo saw the anime, said, damn, Shiggy's cooking y'all niggas. I'm sorry. I gotta
don't
go
know
to the
about
winning
that.
team.
I mean, okay, so yeah, he spent a lot of time with Shigaraki, but I mean, I don't think that's gonna mean he just straight up abandons his other friends, even if things have changed. I mean,
Me
I
and
can't see that.
Shigaraki play
That's
League.
like-
Y'all niggas never played with me. I'm sorry. That's just how
I mean,
it is.
I mean, I just didn't get that from the guy that I saw in Vigilantes, you know? Like, I mean,
Oh fuck! I forgot you read Vigilante. That's true. You know his
Yeah, no.
actual
Like, so I
character.
actually.
Oh no, your opinion is immediately valid, bro. You read
Damn.
fucking Vigilantes?
I was gonna say his opinion is very valid. God damn.
The opposite, bro. This man read like 30 chapters of idol singing, bro.
I
Vigilantes is just an idol manga, if we're being for real.
I mean,
Yes, it is for a while. It's annoying.
Yeah, it is. But I mean, and we're not going to be focusing on that. We're focusing on the literal part, or where we actually get to meet Shirakumo.
Yes.
Shout
Oh,
out
and I mean,
to-
I'm telling you.
Shirakumo,
like-
we see Shirakumo be like a very happy-go-lucky guy in his high school years with Aizawa and Present Mic, and then he, spends literal years with Shigaraki as his protector and guardian.
type shit.
Like, that's a long time for a person to change.
You think it's the maternal instinct?
What?
What's the problem?
Well,
What's
I
wrong?
guess we'll see. Let's just stick to that, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know for sure,
Yeah,
but like,
that's the thing.
that's
Like,
what I think is happening.
at the end of the chapter, it's implied that it's Shirakumo for, like I said, multiple reasons. For one, you literally see him. Normally, when it's Kurogiri, it's just Kurogiri. And two, the way he refers to himself is different. He's speaking like Shirakumo, not Kurogiri,
Yeah.
which is something that manga authors just fucking love doing. Because I mean, it's just part of the Japanese language, but it
Yeah.
happens a lot. So it's like, it is something to go off of, but we don't really know the full story, so we just have to wait and see.
I am gonna go
We
with
don't
the
know what's going-
prediction that he's half and half, like Todoroki. This man's gonna have a mental breakdown, and he's gonna be like, "No, I shouldn't go after Shigaraki. No, I definitely should," and that's gonna be the fight.
Well, here's the thing, right?
That's
Because it's
about
like Kurogiri does change the war, so inevitably something has to happen that like takes him out.
Oh,
of
I
it.
think something is going to, like, he's definitely bringing Shigaraki or All for One. Like, he's helping them in some way for sure. But I can also see him
Yeah.
helping the heroes later.
Yeah, I think he's gonna flip flop. I think he's gonna be on the villain side for now, and then the tide's gonna turn, and then when it like matters, he's gonna flip flop again to the heroes. Like Shirakumo's gonna actually come through and help, or something. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. Even if it is
What do you guys
Monoma
think
just
happens
taking his
next?
quirk and then him screaming "Fixer" again. Sorry. I think we cut back over to. I think we have to cut back over to Deku versus Shiggy, right? Like, at least like end of the chapter, we show them outside of the thing, and Shiggy like starts to regenerate or something.
Yeah.
When do you think we see Uraraka and
Fucking
Toga?
never at this rate.
I think.
God damn.
Yeah,
it
it's
has
gonna be
to
a very, very long time before we see those two again.
I think he's been saving that because right now with Kurogiri, things are about to change. Like, the entire battle is going to change, where people are, who's fighting who. It's all about to shift in very drastic ways,
Mhm.
but that fight isn't. So he was kind of saving that. Like, to put it this way, once Kurogiri joins, the war actually starts.
Yes.
And I don't think he wanted such an important fight to finish before that happened.
I
And
agree.
unlike a
That's my
Todoroki
exact
Dabi
reason,
thing, no part 2.
That's exactly. I agree, because I think what it is Uraraka versus Toga is not an evolving situation. It's going to be a fight, and when it's over, it's done.
That's
Whereas
a very
with-
good point.
Todoroki versus Dabi, they had their fight. It was done. The situation wasn't over because Dabi got back up. All for One versus Endeavor, they had their fight. Stuff was happening, and All for One uses Aries quirk. Now he's back up. Shigaraki versus or like all this stuff that's happened. All the stuff we've been focusing on isn't over yet. Stuff happened, and then it was reaching a conclusion, and then it just kept going. I don't think that's going to be the case with Uraraka and Toga. It's just going to be one fight, and then it's over.
Yeah.
So I think he's saving that for, like Zena said, like when the war actually starts. That's when we'll get that.
That's a
I
very
wouldn't be
good point.
surprised if it's the first fight we see after the Kurogiri shit happens.
Mhm.
No, we're gonna cut to Aoyama and Fat
Actually,
Gum.
yeah, we might get the Aoyama and like Mina stuff. Now that I think about it, that's probably better because I want to see like Mina and Kirishima, they're at the where Gigantomachia is. I want to see shit with him. I want to see.
Well,
him break
Kurogiri
break.
has to
True.
break out Gigantomachia because there's no way Gigantomachia doesn't do anything this hard.
Oh,
Like,
Yeah, that would kind of suck.
Oh God.
I mean, I kind of hope not because like
Who
if they
is
break,
stopping
because I mean, if we get the double whammy of Kurogiri and Gigantomachia, heroes are fucked. That's it.
bro, Bakugo's
Literally
getting
the
back
end of the
up.
fucking series.
Bro, yeah, Bakugo is literally gonna get back up.
He's gonna
Bakugo
handle
versus
business, bro.
Machia? Damn.
Yeah, except you guys were bitching about it that whole freaking time, so it's like,
I wasn't
is that really gonna
bitching.
be
About what? What were we bitching
about
about?
Bakugo getting back up?
Yeah, because it's ass, but it's gonna happen. So like,
Yeah.
I still don't like it. Yeah,
It's gonna happen though.
Yeah.
Like,
You know
Nigga-
what, man? I'm cool with it as long as Bakugo gets a cool fight from it. That's what, I can forgive it if that happens.
yeah, bro, he's gonna kill All for One.
Bro, that would be sick.
Mm.
Like, I don't even care at that point. That would just be sick.
Yeah, that nigga gonna get up, be brand new. Fucking, he's gonna start using parts of HxH's quirk.
All
gonna
right,
awaken
bro.
his
I
quirk
wouldn't
a
go
second
that far.
time.
That would suck. Yeah, that would suck.
Nah, fuck it. We're in here now. It don't matter.
Bakugo's gonna give him a piece of hair like in the movie, and he's gonna get access to all the quirks. He's gonna have All for One,
Oh my
or
God.
One Paw and all the
Damn.
And Deadshot's quirk.
quirks, bro. And that shot quirk. It's gonna be sick, bro. Just wait.
And then there's gonna be a gag of him saying, haha, I have one more quirk than you. And then that'll be the big funny moment of the war. And then
Here's the
they
thing, though.
go
That
fight.
might legitimately happen. Not any of the shit you were talking about.
I was about to say, what?
No, just Bakugo versus All for One. That might happen because it's got to get up somehow. All for One is weaker than Shigaraki. At least he should be, and he doesn't have regeneration, so he can finish the fight. It's a completely reasonable fight.
I mean, yes.
I think
it'll
it'd be
happen.
a lot better. Yeah, I think it'd be. I'd much rather that than like. I just want Deku
Deku
and
just fights both
Shigaraki,
of
man.
them.
I just want
Yeah.
Deku and Shigaraki, man. The story was around them. I fucking want Deku versus Shigaraki. Get All for One the fuck up out of here. Kick his
Yeah,
ass
I'm
out.
really excited for his defeat. It's gonna be really cool.
He needs to die now. Kurogiri needs to teleport to him and kill him. Stab him in the neck. Die. But anyway.
I
yeah.
what I really want out of these coming chapters is I know Spinner's done. I just want him to have a moment with Shigaraki when he comes back. Like that's all I want from Spinner
want-
now. Just
I
a
want
moment where they're
Spinner-
friends.
Yeah, I want
Bro,
Spinner
Shigaraki
to
don't have
teleport
friends,
through.
bro. What are you talking about?
Oh,
I was
shit.
talking about this before, but what I really want from them is I think it would be great if just, Shigaraki sees what All for One did to Spinner and just takes away those quirks that was given to him. It's like, dude, you don't gotta do that.
That'd
It's
be
okay.
so sweet. Yeah,
That's
would be
like
awesome.
super
This life
fan
ain't
fictiony,
built
but
for
I would
you.
love it. That'd
Yeah,
be great.
And then they kiss after, and it's
Mm.
really cute. And
that's sweet.
I would love that.
Very sweet. I want my
Now you sound like a real MHA fan, Zena.
my fan fiction for what's gonna happen is Shirakumo is gonna come through the portal and shout a League of Legends team comp, and Shigaraki's like comes back to life.
They're gonna be fucked, dude. If Kurogiri shows up with like All for One and Gigantomachia, like
Yeah.
to UA, and they're just
Get
like, oh well,
fucked.
yeah, like,
Yeah, it's over. It's fucking wraps. No
we
way.
tried.
Yeah, right. It's like, can we restart? Can we go from a
But,
save point?
I think it's hard to say how many chapters we got left because it's like fuck if I know, but I think we got a good bit left.
Yeah, no,
sticking
this shit
in-
ain't ending this.
I
We're
was
like
about to say-
30.
Yeah, no,
I think
no.
we're 30 chapters into this final arc.
Yeah.
I'm staying
I
with my prediction of
genuinely-
April.
April, yeah, I think so too. But I wouldn't even be surprised if it's longer than that
I think
because
we
I
have,
feel like
honestly, I think we have like at least half a year left.
That's
for
very
like
fair.
15-ish chapters.
6
Yeah.
months. I
I
can
think
work with
that's
that.
very fair.
Yeah, that's very fair.
Yeah, I can see
I
that.
think we got like 20 or more. I think we got a lot, actually. I genuinely think we got a good bit left to go through, but it all comes down to Horikoshi, what he wants to do, what he wants to show, and all that. So
For sure.
we'll see.
All right, team. We ready to move on to the next
Chainsaw
chapter?
Man.
Yeah. Let me actually write this down for timestamp purposes. Chainsaw Man 111. Fellas, how are we feeling about it?
A really good chapter.
It was an interesting chapter. Like, I mean, I feel like, of course, the big thing we gotta address here is Fake Saw Man.
Great value Chainsaw Man. I respect that.
I feel so just fucking silly because last week I was all like, yeah, I think Yuko's staying because why would she come
We all
back
said that.
and survive
Yeah.
just to be
We
just
were
to
all saying
leave
that.
and then she just fucking died.
She
Nah,
got
Man, I was-
I'm
fucked.
hoping
Look at me. I
she's
was the
gonna
one saying like she was
survive
gonna
this.
fuck off.
She's
Oh,
gonna
Yeah,
make
if you didn't say she was gonna get her fucking head cut off.
Yeah, no, she's out of here. I
dead.
thought for sure, like, because I saw the chainsaw shadow, I thought, because I wasn't thinking about it until like I reread it again, I thought it was literally Denji killed her and then went home and slept like a baby. I was like, damn, this man's crazy. Also, shout out to Nayuta. We finally get a little cameo from her.
Yeah, and the dogs.
Yes.
What's the deal? That's the girl. So in those panels where it shows Asa, Denji, and then Yuko's face, it shows the girl that Denji saved from
Yeah.
Yuko. Why did it show her?
I think so. This is just my theory, but these panels have a few purposes. I think one, it shows them all just what they're doing at that time of day. Denji's sleeping, Asa can't sleep, Yuko's dead. And this is really interesting that it shows Denji because the purpose of the Denji panel is really clear. It's to show that Denji isn't the one that killed her.
Yes.
It's basically saying, what the fuck? So, and then the purpose of the acid panel, it's like kind of emotional, I think. It's showing her like she can't sleep after what happened. But if the purpose of the Denji panel is to clear his name, why show her? Because like maybe she's gonna have some involvement in the plot line that's gonna make her a suspect. That's my best guess. I'm not sure.
Oh wait.
Yeah.
No, never mind. I was gonna say.
Oh, okay.
Because Denji was like, "Oh, I'll show you who I am," but he didn't get to do that yet. So I was like, "Is
Yeah,
that
he
the
didn't.
reason why?" I don't know.
So let's talk about the twist at the end with some weird Chainsaw Man thing. So
Yeah.
first thing to discuss, there is a theory going around that this is a new devil manifested from the fear of Chainsaw Man.
That's a
really
bad theory.
theory.
Yeah.
Fucking sense. If that wouldn't manifest a new devil, it would just make him stronger.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's another
I mean,
one
there
that
was
people
one-
were saying that it was like this, like Puchita was a fake chainsaw devil or something. Just
Oh,
the real one. I fucking
mean,
hate
okay.
that theory too. I'm not gonna lie.
I have long been a proponent of the theory that Pochita is more than he seems in that regard, but that ain't it.
I mean,
That is
look,
not.
I don't know if you guys saw what I typed out. Oh, when this chapter came out. Oh, but I mean,
we did. We talked about.
I mean, like, but okay, yeah, because like, I mean, I feel like
Just wanna
that's
let you
gonna
know I
be
care.
the closest one I can think of. Of
I
like,
didn't see it. What'd
okay,
you
because
say?
like we earlier in the chapter we were mentioning, or Yuko mentioned about how there are like other contractors with Justice Double. Like there's more than just her out there. Or so like the theory I was talking about was how this could be another contractor, and of course because and also like Yuko, they're modeling themselves after Chainsaw Man because they want to be like symbols of justice or whatever, just like him, and without obviously actually knowing what he is.
The issue is that when it shows like this thing's arm, it has the same like wounds that Chainsaw Man like creates in the transformation. So it's like it's a genuine transformation happening.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
So I don't fucking know. I don't have a theory. This is really weird.
Do you think it could somehow be connected with the famine devil?
I don't think there's enough evidence for that.
But we don't have evidence for shit. We have enough evidence to disprove theories, but nothing disproves that. So yeah, sure, fuck it.
I don't know. I'm sticking with my Justice Devil theory. I'm
Sure.
sticking to my guns on that one.
I don't know if it could be the famine. I'm like trying to think back to like what could, like if there is anything that like goes with famine that could bring about something like this, or even if it is just a contract with another devil or like another devil working under her. I don't know, honestly. Yeah, this is very crazy. I was not expecting to have a great value Chainsaw Man, but I think it'll be pretty funny since he's more than likely going to take all of Denji's clout. So there's that.
Mhm. This is like the worst thing that could have happened for Denji. This
Yeah.
situation where he's trying to use his fame to like, take advantage of his fame, and now this guy's literally healing his identity. It's really poetic justice, one would say. It's almost like, this is the way the cookie crumbles.
It's very interesting too, because Chainsaw Man is like a celebrity. It's sort of like
Yeah.
it's sort of like what's going on with Mob Psycho right now. Which, by the way, if you're not watching Mob Psycho,
Oh yeah,
season
you
3,
should watch One Psycho.
watch
It's really
that
good.
shit. Yeah, watch that shit right now. But yeah, it's sort of what's going on with that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, sort of what's going on with that, and just taking their identity and all of their power for themselves in this sort of situation. So I'm definitely interested. I got no fucking idea. Genuinely no fucking idea what could be happening. So I guess I'll just wait for next week. I do want to backtrack a little bit with the conversation with Yuko and Asa. They are so great. Like, the more I see them, which, is all I'll see from them now.
I love the start
them.
where it's like, do you want to eat me?
Oh God.
Oh gosh, a little bit. Holy crap.
Holy crap. Damn,
Yeah,
girl.
yeah.
You
that
are
was a little
fucked up.
freaky, but again, that whole exchange near the very end with the fact that their shoes, it's just giving their shoes back to me, that was nice. That was fucking nice.
Yeah.
It was a good send off.
Yeah, it was not only a callback, but it was just a nice way to say, like, hey, you have a place to come back to. Like, that was very, very sweet. Like, when Yuko first gave her, she was like, hey, just showing you got a friend, type shit. Does the same thing. Ugh, so sweet, man. I really like that. I also really like just seeing more of Asa, her talking about how she feels like she's the worst. Like, a bunch of people just died. I killed people, and I'm just laughing here with a friend. Like, there must be something wrong with me. I love seeing more into her psyche and just how everything that's going on is affecting her. Because Asa was just a regular schmegular ass nigga, and now so much has changed in like the past few days, maybe weeks. It's very interesting to see how she's sort of getting used to all of this sort of stuff. But yeah, it was really cool because I was bringing it up in some of my little shorts. Yuko doing everything for herself. It was also really cool to have that as a confirmation, with her just saying, yes, I kind of just wanted to do that. Yuko is it's so fucked up. Like, Yuko is so sad, man. Just, she never really had anything, and now the little that she does have, it's sort of being taken away because of her impulses as, like, I guess whatever is going on with her right now. It's really fucked up. But Zenith, it sounds like you realized something, so what's up?
I think I can see the direction of the story right now. So it's really interesting. I'm gonna let you finish if you got anything.
No, I'm good. You're good.
All right, cool. So the whole thing is there's the line that Yuko says as she's going. Don't make a contract with the Justice Devil like I did, Asa. They're out of their school. And what?
Continue.
I know. I'm working off of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was about to say, if you just say what he just said.
No, I was listening. I promise.
Okay, go ahead.
'Cause you're talking about like their relationship and all that stuff. I'm no, all right. Don't worry. I'm not
Okay,
I'm not
go
about
ahead,
to do
go
like
ahead.
that. The whole thing that's really interesting is like, it's kind of been this weird thing. Is like, well, okay, how the fuck are just any of these people? How is the Justice Devil alive, right?
Mhm.
Because there's the whole transformation that the one girl in chapter 1 had, and then she
The
died.
class prez,
Justice Devil, Justice Devil comes back. Suddenly, she has a contract with Yuko has a contract with the Justice Devil. Okay, we've seen the Justice Devil, or the people with the contract with a transformation, get sliced up multiple times. How is that possible? Because this is the first time we've seen a contract like this. Except it isn't. It's not the first time we've seen a contract that involves this kind of transformation that isn't a hybrid, because we've seen this with the Darkness Devil and Santa Claus, where she eats a piece of Darkness's flesh. Now, that's important because that means this isn't a normal contract. That is the only time we've seen a non-hybrid have a transformation.
Yeah, you're right, actually.
So that means
So
that the actual Justice Devil, we have not seen even a bit of how strong it is. It's at the school, and it's just making contracts in exchange for pieces of its flesh.
So let me ask you this, Venus. I completely agree. I was thinking the same thing, but I didn't want to bring it up because I did not have enough evidence. Because I did not recall that you have to eat the flesh, and that's how this happened. I think it's the Famine Devil that's doing all this, because she said it's at her school. The Famine Devil is also a student because she was wearing their school uniform
It would
when
be
we saw her.
Mm.
And if it's the contract is made through consuming the flesh, that would connect to hunger. Somehow the Famine Devil can have some connection to that.
Oh, so you think like the Famine Devil
I
is sort
don't-
of like a broker and just making contracts with people? sort of type
Maybe.
shit.
It wouldn't be that odd if the Famine Devil was somehow capable of using other devils' abilities, because the Control Devil and the War Devil can do the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They can also do different, amass powers, basically.
So the Control
Yeah.
Devil can control any devil that she sees as weaker than herself. The War Devil can turn other devils into weapons. Why wouldn't the Hunger Devil be able to take pieces of flesh and feed it to people?
That would be interesting. Personally, I would go the opposite direction. I think it's more likely that the Justice Devil is a separate faction, I guess you could call it, and the Famine Devil is there for whatever reason. I think both are equally likely, frankly, because we don't know shit.
For sure.
But also, it's weird that the Famine Devil showed up exactly when Yuko was going
That
on a
is
rampage.
weird. That is weird.
Like, she had it all planned out.
Bro, everything for her little sister, bro.
That is true. Why? We just don't know enough.
There's so
about what's
much we
happening.
don't know.
It is so crazy that by the end of part 1, we know so much, and now we're just consistently shown how ignorant we are of what's happening.
For sure, man. God damn.
Because it's like, I
Well-
hear everything you're saying, Taco, and then I think of it, well, what about this angle at it? Well, then, I don't know. Maybe.
I hope so. I don't know.
Shit's crazy.
It could be just something as simple as like the fake chainsaw man. It could be someone who's, if the Hunger Devil is capable of taking the flesh and feeding people and giving away their powers, Denji's left plenty of his flesh just laying around the city.
Oh yeah,
Like
that's
the
true.
Hunger Devil could just have access to that and could have
That's
given
true.
someone a piece of his flesh, and now they technically have a contract with the Chainsaw Devil.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways,
know
the
what,
reason
Taka,
I
that's a
brought
really
this
good
And
whole
why
thing
would
up.
why would the Chainsaw Devil kill Yuko? Because the Hunger Devil's trying to cover their tracks because they need to kill Yuko because Yuko knows about the Hunger Devil. She even tells Asa, "Hey, watch out! The Justice Devil's at our school."
The reason, okay, this is like some
Okay.
very long form stuff.
Go
A
ahead.
personal theory of mine is that all of the horsemen are eventually going to be Denji's allies. And I have a lot of reasons for
agree,
that
yeah.
that I don't want to go into here on the podcast. But I do think it is like Yuko, because of that, I do think Yuko's right that it is the Justice Devil is, at the school. And I think it's setting them up as a much bigger boss for this arc. Because that
Okay.
means that it's a lot more powerful than we've been led to believe so far. Because,
For sure.
like, the Darkness Devil is just literally incomprehensible. And even then, like, just a piece of its flesh was almost impossible to beat.
Yeah, we had to set ourselves
So-
on fire.
It's very powerful, I guess what I'm saying. And I think it's fine if a devil that strong is the final boss. And also it's very fitting because this is an arc about Denji trying to be a superhero and it's the Justice Devil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah,
just
That's definitely
fitting.
gonna play into it.
I think it would be interesting because we have both Yoru and Makima have played the roles of antagonists, so I think it would be interesting if the Famine Devil is kind of already like not a huge antagonistic threat right from the bat. I think that would be interesting. We'll see.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, for sure. If any of these theories come true, you heard it here first. If they don't, we will never talk
Yeah,
about
will never
if
talk
we
about
throw
it.
enough out there, if we throw enough theories out
We
there, eventually
will
we'll say something right.
never talk
I
about
guarantee
them.
one of us said something that will come true throughout this bit.
Yeah.
Guarantee.
I
Eventually,
think
yeah.
personally we were all spitting, and we.
I
we were
agree.
all
And just so
right.
you know, and of course, if it turns out my theory was wrong, I will vehemently deny it.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, here's the
absolutely.
thing, like, all the fucking, if I'm wrong, I can just defend it with, like, I don't know.
Well, this is a good moment. I like this because we very rarely disagree with each other because we're all just fucking hive mind.
Let's go.
So I like it. We all have very different ideas of like what the possibility is.
For
So this is a really good chapter. Good twist. Good cliffhanger.
Very good.
Interesting
chapter.
mystery.
We got a
Yes.
lot more out of this chapter than I expected, honestly.
I really didn't think we would talk about it that long, but yeah, we talked
Hey,
about it for quite a
that's
while.
all good content, baby. I guess we're ready to move on, though. We're ready to talk about
Yeah.
Final
Hunter
chapter.
Hunter?
Hunter. Hunter.
All right, let's talk about it. Hunter x Hunter chapter 395. Fellas, how we feeling about it?
I mean, I genuinely never expected this.
Same. Yeah.
Like,
I read it this
can't
morning. I was
believe
blown
we're
away.
I can't believe we're getting the Phantom Troupe full backstory.
That's just insane.
I never thought we would get this. Yeah, this is fucking. I said this before, or someone said it. We're all a hive mind, so I said it
Let's
a couple podcasts ago, where we were like, "Yeah, I just think the Phantom Troupe's done. Like, this is the final arc for the Phantom Troupe. I think they're either all going to die or disband by the end of the arc." I'm even more confident that that's the case
I was about to say, it sounds like you.
because we're getting their full backstory. Like, we're gonna learn their origin and everything about them, and then it's like, yeah, it's like after that, what left do they have to do? It's like they're gonna play their role in this arc, and I think it's done.
Yeah, almost 400 chapters deep in the story, and we're actually getting this. This is fucking crazy.
I love Meteor City. I think it's such an interesting concept.
Yeah, even just like their
Just this
little
giant
quote.
junk heap. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like we'll accept anything you give us, but never take from us. That's so fucking cool. Like, damn.
I also find it extremely interesting the elders, where it's like a church, because that just makes so much sense that like the church would play such a big role in like governing these people who have literally nothing. All they have is their faith.
Yeah,
They don't own anything. They don't own shit. They're not even people in the eyes of
I
everyone
was
else in the
just about
world.
to say that. Yep.
And I think it's really cool because that explains a lot of Crollo's symbolism. Because Crollo always wears the crosses, and he always has the cross symbolism on him. I don't know. It's just I really
And the very subtle Togashi giving him the last name with silver.
True.
Right. I really like
subtlety right there.
I really like Crollo because it's seeing him as seeing the Phantom Troupe when they're younger is interesting because Crollo's not the leader yet.
Mm-hmm.
Crollo is weaker and he's getting picked on by Uvagan and Finks, and it's
that was
interesting
so
seeing that
crazy.
because at some point Crollo is just going to take over. He's going to be the leader. There's going to be some moment. Well, I think we kind of know. Oh, it was also really nice seeing Paku again because I love Paku.
Yeah,
Paku's
it made
so
me sad
sweet.
again that she died.
Yeah. Oh.
I love that panel where Crollo's like, "I love you, Paku." She's just like, "All right, bro."
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the next couple chapters are going to be pretty interesting, mostly just because of how it's really going to contextualize. It's just how connected the Phantom Troupe is. It's like they're not just like this group, this band of thieves. They're essentially a family, and of course, it also is really going to remind us just why it is they're so pissed about having their own killed off by Hisoka and why they're going through all of this.
For sure.
Yeah, so I mean, it'll be.
I think
it'll definitely prove to be interesting.
I think we're going to witness something very horrible happen to them. I don't know what it's going to be, but it's going to be something really dark.
And
because
it's really
it has to be something horrible enough to create these actual monsters because they are monsters.
Already stuck.
Yeah,
what could happen?
Well, even Nobunaga, before the flashback, he says, "We were just fumbling in the dark, searching for something, anything, and most of all, resignation and anger were the driving force." Am I right? So it's something really bad happened to them. And that's another thing with Crollo is Crollo, from what we're seeing, it's Crollo was very kind. He's very intelligent. He was just a really good kid who was growing up in a really bad place. And even one of the little girls says it at the end of the chapter where she's like, Crollo shouldn't have been born here. Because Crollo is, again, so nice and so intelligent. If he was born somewhere better and had a real chance, he could have been something really great. But he's held back by his environment and who he is, where he's been born.
Which is crazy.
And it's
he doesn't view himself he doesn't view it that way at all. He's just
he doesn't view
so
it that way
selfless.
at all.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I think something horrible is going to happen that triggers Crollo's growth into the man we know him as. The ruthless leader that cares deeply about his Phantom Troupe members, but is capable of doing really bad shit.
It also
killing and doing senseless violence very easily.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting because you can see that same attitude he has in the future that he has here, because it's he doesn't see it that way, that he's not in the right place. He also doesn't think very highly of himself in terms of the Phantom Troupe. He's under the impression that if he dies, the troupe still lives on fine.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. That's not true. Yeah, he is.
Yeah, not even remotely.
Yeah,
and I think
is
that
the leader.
That goes back
if
to.
he's not there.
Yeah, I think that goes back to what Homeboy was telling him about the DVD. Take this. It doesn't belong to just us. It belongs to everybody. I think that mentality is sort of what Crollo stands for, with him being okay, this shit is bigger than me. I don't need to live. It's fine because everybody, this is for everybody. This isn't just for me. This is for everybody. I think that has shaped a lot of who Crollo is, and it's very interesting.
I'm very excited for this because Crollo's one of those characters. I have always fucking loved Crollo. He's always been one of my favorite characters of all time, but we've never known enough about him that I could justify my love. And I feel like Crollo gets put in a camp of being called overrated way too often.
Yeah.
Because I feel like there's a lot of people who are yeah, Crollo's cool, but whatever. He's just a cool guy. We don't. And now it's now that we're getting this backstory, we're really gonna get to the core of especially because this is Togashi that's writing this. This isn't we're going to learn how Crollo thinks inside and out by the end of this backstory. Because that's just how Togashi does his writing.
Mm-hmm.
He's very thorough. So it's that's what I'm mostly excited for. Well, the other Phantom Troupe members too, because I like all of the Phantom Troupe members, but so far it appears that it's going to be mostly focused on Chrollo, which makes sense because again, he is the
He's
Phantom
the head
Troupe. Like,
honcho,
yeah, he's the guy. Like, he's him.
He's him, true and true. But yeah, it was really sweet to see everybody get together, and it was honestly, after so long of seeing them together, and especially seeing all of the other spiders mourn each other and all of that good stuff, it was weird to see that there was a time where they didn't get along. There was a time where they were fighting each other and they were on opposite ends of the spectrum. It's very strange. Like, it goes back to what we were saying at the start. We're actually getting this backstory, and that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, that's
for me.
fucking
Like,
nuts, dude. Oh my god,
that
I can't
is
believe that.
fucking insane for me, man. And it also, I guess, sort of builds on that whole thing with, I guess it's sort of like a connection to Kurapika, because Homeboy was saying, Nobunaga was saying that, like, yeah, we were just using anger and hatred as our motivation. That's sort of what Kurapika is doing right now. And just like him trying to take his family's eyes back and things like that. So I don't know how
Yeah, dude,
that's
Hunter
going
x
to
Hunter
play
is
into...
fucking good.
Yeah, it's really fucking good.
This chapter made me remember why I fucking love Hunter x Hunter so much. Also, thank God we're off the fucking boat for a while. Like, I
bro,
don't
what's
know
the
how
problem?
long
You didn't want to be on the boat?
Nah, bro, fuck the boat. I'm off the boat.
Nah, we're back next chapter.
Nah, bro, we're not going back. I'm not going back, bro. I'm not going back.
You ain't putting me back on that boat. I'll drop this series before
I'm
I let
not
that
going
happen.
Oh, that's cute. You think you have a choice?
I think this flashback, I don't think it'll be a super long, like, I don't think it's gonna be like an Oda level flashback where it just goes on for fucking dozens of chapters, but I do think it'll be, I think we're gonna get a pretty good flashback, like pretty long, substantial flashback.
For sure.
Because it literally, the name of the chapter is Founding Part 1.
Mm-hmm.
That's like, we're gonna get more parts as we go, but
Bro, this is about to be like the Shibuya incident.
Really happy that we're getting this.
Yes.
I just fucking love the Phantom Troupe. God, the Phantom Troupe. I don't know what it is. It's so interesting because the Phantom Troupe is one of those groups where it's like, I've always just had such a soft spot for the Phantom Troupe. I've always loved them so much. They've always been. I like the Phantom Troupe. I don't think I've ever said this out loud, but I like the Phantom Troupe more than I like any of the main characters in Hunter x Hunter.
Oh fuck!
Damn, really?
I like the Phantom Troupe more than I like Gon or Killua.
You
Or
love
Get
Kurapika.
Oreo?
fucked.
Well, bro, I don't think anyone likes Leorio, bro. Not that much.
Damn.
Yeah, not
Does anyone have Leorio in their top 5?
Damn.
Hunter x Hunter Because some people will, I guarantee, have Kurapika, Gon, and Killua, at least one of them in their top 5. But I don't know if anyone has fucking Leorio in their top 5.
Top five.
Yeah, well, they're
Hey,
wrong.
you know, he's got his shooters. You know, he's got someone out there.
Yeah, bro. He got the squirt guns.
Oh shit. The Nerf darts, I
But,
respect it.
Yeah, I'm really happy. If you couldn't tell.
Yes. Very good. It is very good. Honestly, that's everything I had to say. I don't have too much to say.
Yeah,
on
like
Hunter
it's a
x
good
Hunter.
chapter. I don't have a lot to say about it.
Yeah,
Amen to
yeah.
that,
I mean, there
son.
isn't really a whole lot to really discuss here.
Nothing's happened
They're
yet.
like it's the start of a flashback arc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Arc. This could have great implications for the characters. That's really not much else to cover.
Oh hell yeah. But yeah, I think that's everything. I think we'll begin to wrap up here. Thank you for watching, everybody, or I guess listening, or if you watch the screen for 1 hour and 23, shouts out to you. You deserve a shout out. Next week, do we have any other series on break besides, I think, does Black Clover come back? I think it does.
So next week, One Piece will be on break, and we have every other chapter is coming back. So we have 5 chapters next week.
All right, cool. So that'll be a big
Ironic.
podcast for us. Hopefully you join us back here. Hopefully enjoyed this one. Make sure to like the video, comment what you thought your favorite chapter was this week. Go watch Zenith's video, or I'm flying out and I'm kicking you in the face. And that's everything I have to say. Do you have any closing statements for the people before we head out, guys?
Nope. I think we covered all the bases we needed to cover.
All right, we are fucking out of here. To all my retail workers, good luck. Black Friday is finna be shit. But we gonna make it.
Try to just have fun. It
Yeah,
sucks, but
stay
just
safe.
look at all the people being idiots.
Yeah, stay safe. If you celebrate Thanksgiving,
Also,
hopefully
yeah,
you and
happy,
yours are all
yeah.
good. If you don't, I just hope you have a good week this week, man. But anyway,
Yeah,
we'll
yeah,
talk to you
Celebrate
later.
Thanksgiving. Have a good Thanksgiving. If not,
Yes.
just have a good day.
Absolutely. We love you. Bye-bye.
Bye.